Hello and welcome to the Art and Soul Show at the Sound of SWADS on Swindon 105.5. In today's show we'll have a real mixed bag of goodies for you, including an intro to the Sound Swindon Music Therapy Group. We'll be hearing voices from some of the group members and finding out just what it is about music that makes it so therapeutic. We'll be hearing from Bob Heath, who facilitates the group, and he will be talking a little bit about how amazing the power of music really is. Also in today's show, a glimpse into the process of SWADS writing and recording their Christmas single from the beginning to the end, all in a day as the team building exercise and a bit of Christmas fun. Listen out for the finished single in the show and over the Christmas period on Swindon 105.5. Also today's show, a completely new feature called Barb's Bits on the side, and the unusual local and electronic mix of music, poetry, features and interviews from people using Swindon's one and only original wellbeing centre, SWADS, supporting wellbeing and developing stability in Swindon today. We start our show with some music today, which was recorded in the Sound Recovery Studio at SWADS on the Friday the 9th of December by Emma Sally, and this is a cover of a fantastic 60s hit. These boots are made for walking. Take it away, Emma. Start walking.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been messing where you shouldn't have been messing, and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah. You keep lying when you ought to be truthing, and you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be a changing. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing when you shouldn't have been playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches. Yeah. And what he knows you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, boots? Start walking.
Swindon 105.5. Hi, and welcome to a new feature that's going to be going out every month called Barb's Bit on the Side. So every month there will be a different feature, and this month we're going to look at a brain teaser. So I'm going to give you the question, and then you can have a think about it, and later on in the show we'll give you the answer. Okay, so 3 ladies go for lunch, and they give the waiter £10 each towards the bill. The meal costs £25. So the waiter has £5 coins to take back to the table in change. He decides to sneakily put a couple of pounds in his pocket as a tip. He goes back to the table, gives them £1 each. So they gave him £10. He's given them £1 each back. So they've now paid £9 towards the meal. 3 lots of £9 makes 27. Plus the £2 in his pocket comes to £29. Where has the other £1 gone? You work it out. Answer coming up later in the show. Barb's bit on the side.
The sound of SWADS. SWADS on the air. While you listen to this, your ears can't look elsewhere.
Watch out for our Puppet Panto show coming soon on the SWADS Facebook.
And now on the Art and Soul show, SWADS on the air, we have some poetry. The artist known as Rusty Goat, that's Scott Cowley, performing one of his latest poems. What's the poem called, Scott?
This one's called Bazooka Terry. Behind the bike shed, she kissed a boy called Terry, that sweet, funny guy she sat next to in biology. It turns out second period was chemistry. Chemistry and smiles from kissing with Terry. Her best friend, Susan, dated Frank, Terry's big brother. He had a Vauxhall Viva. Terry's ride was more in line with our teenage crush, but two's up on his rally racer with the handlebars turned up down King's Hill. You couldn't see us for dust, wind gust. A fantastic first date ride. Once I'd cleared the tears from my eyes, wind-whipped infliction from Terry's rather long black and yellow school tie. I knew this long-haired lover of football was the guy for me, a guy to take round your nans for tea. Terry tasted of bazooka bubblegum, sweetly.
Welcome back to Barb's Bit on the Side. And now for the answer to the brain teaser. Just to recap, 3 ladies went for a meal, cost £25. The waiter had £5 in change to give them, gave them each £1. So therefore they paid £9 each for the meal, and he put £2 in his pocket, which came to 3 lots of 9 is 27, plus £2 in the waiter's pocket is 29. So the question was, where did the other £1 go? Well, the answer is a bit sneakily in the question. You need to focus on the £25 that the meal costs, because technically each of those ladies paid £8.33 for their lunch, plus the £1 back from the waiter means they had £9.33 they paid, times it by 3, comes to £28. Add that £2 from the waiter's pocket and we're back to the 30. We found that pound. Hope it didn't get you too much in a brain mess with that brain teaser.
Look at me, the fairy from the tree. After some bother, I became the fairy godmother. Tune in to Swindon 105.5.
You know you wanna. Okay, that track was called Hidden Story. It was written and recorded by Richie P at the Sound Recovery Studios at SWADS, featuring Mike B on guitar. Still to come on the Art and Soul Show today, we have an interview with Bob Heath from Soundwell and the making of the SWADS Christmas single. Stick around, Swindon 105.5.
The Art and Soul Show, SWADS on the air. Check out our website at www.swads.org.uk and drop us a line if you'd like some support or to get involved.
Okay, just before we go ahead and talk to Bob Heath about Soundwell and talk to some of the Soundwell members, we have a track made by a member of both Soundwell and SWADS. This is Kathy Parkin with a Canadian flute acoustic number, written and recorded by her here at Sound Recovery Studios, SWADS. Okay, that was Spirit of the Forest, recorded here at the Sound Recovery Studio at SWADS by Kathy Parkin. And now I'm sitting here with Bob Heath from Soundwell Music Therapy. Tell us a little bit about what you do, Bob.
Well, music therapy is, when you really think about it, it's very ancient. There's never really been a civilization that's been discovered that didn't use music as a way of communicating and unifying its social structures. We've always used music to mark all of the huge, important events of our lives. And what music therapy does is it acknowledges that music is this incredibly human way of expressing ourselves and communicating with each other. And it takes that and tries to use that as a way of encouraging people to find new ways of expressing themselves, of telling their stories, of saying important things when at times it can feel that that's too difficult to do.
Thank you, Bob. So, Bob, tell us a little bit about the Swindon Soundwell Music Group.
We've been going for almost a year now, I think, and we meet every Tuesday at SWADS. The group is based on the idea that we get together and there's a huge range of instruments, all of which are easy to access. Anyone can play them. There's a range of drums and a range of tuned percussion. We have keyboards, guitars, and we improvise music together. And through the business of improvising, that is just making up music together, we discover that we're listening to each other, we're communicating with each other, we're noticing that we're sharing feelings with each other, and the music is a lovely way of expressing it, but also becomes a new opportunity to then begin perhaps to talk about some of those feelings. We meet for an hour. At the moment, the group, there's around about 8 of us. It's a closed group in that if you'd like to join, you need to contact us, and we can meet you and have a chat with you and see whether or not this might be something that you would find helpful. Yeah, we'll give you some contact details at the end of this.
Thank you. So we're going to be hearing something now, Bob. What are we going to be listening to?
Well, the music that you'll hear will be some of the music that we recorded in one of our recent sessions. So you'll be hearing a whole range of different instruments playing together. Bear in mind that all of the people playing here are people that would not consider themselves to be experienced musicians at all. In fact, for some of them, this is the first time they've ever really played music. And you'll also hear some of the group members talking about why they find the group helpful, and a little bit about why music just has this incredible power to help them to express themselves and to open up, make new discoveries about themselves, and to forge new relationships and friendships. So this is the Swindon group playing some music and just chatting to each other about why the group feels so important to them.
Different instruments, but we seem to join and meld together, so we develop a piece of music so that you go out here and you're, for the rest of the day, you feel lifted, and not just for the day, it's something to really look forward to, because it's so positive.
Is that how it feels?
Yeah, that's how it feels, because even times where I felt perhaps unwell or feeling low, I just think, no, come to the group, because perhaps not all the pieces work, but there's always some that work and they stay with you as you go. So it's enough of a lift, I think, to get through the day, week, until the next session.
I think it brings you out of your shell and it makes you feel like in your own comfort zone, if you know what I mean by that. And it makes you express yourself, what you can do with these things. And it's a miracle that we've got them in this world as well, to be quite honest. And yeah, I reckon it gets your mood higher and happier. And it's evolving, which is exciting for us to do. Because we're all mixing up, we're all getting together, and it's happy and it's exciting. Like I said, it's exciting to think what we can do and do the things every time we turn up and just get on with it.
Yeah. You say it's happy. Sometimes we play music that feels quite melancholy and sad.
What does melancholy mean?
A bit sad.
Oh.
But is that all right too?
Yeah,
because that's what music's about, isn't it? It's sort of like creating emotions, isn't it, really?
Yeah, probably make
It's not always words, it's music, isn't it?
Yeah, you
can hear a tune, can't you, without any lyrics at all? But the piece, you know, it might have had a visual thing, so you score on the TV, but you know, it brings out the emotions.
Like for example, Kev, Moody Blues compared to Dire Straits. That's what you say, sad to happy at most, in a way.
Okay. So, but for you, it's about being able to play music, and whatever the mood is, it's about being engaged in music. That's the powerful thing.
Yeah, I think that last piece that we just done, it's not being frightened of actually sort of like just hanging back, and we all found a place, and then you find
Join
that place, and
Yeah.
you know, all of a sudden you know where we all know where we're going, and you bonded in with it,
And I think that's developed over time, because
Yeah.
when we first came together, it was quite disjointed, and now even if people are playing very simple instruments, everything seems to connect in far more often than it did to start with. So I think as a group we've developed and grown because we're listening to each other's pieces as well as doing our own, and we never know what's coming. That's the joy of it, isn't it?
And talking of actually meeting new people, I mean, I think music actually brings people together.
Definitely.
Because everybody's got something that they've got something to bring, and as we were discussing earlier, it is down to soul. You feel the music and you feel how it's trying to flow, and sometimes you don't feel like there is a flow, but eventually something will come together, and we've all got to learn. I think we've got started to understand each other and know when one of us is feeling down or low or anxious or
Takes us off your mind a bit.
there's such a variety of instruments as well, isn't there? And sometimes, like I find, you don't have to, you know, sometimes when you just sort of like just take a little step, listen backwards to what everybody else is doing, sometimes you only need to add a couple of notes in a certain place to make it fit.
sometimes less is
So,
more.
yeah, it's very rewarding that, you know, sometimes you can add just that little bit, can't you? And everybody, and suddenly other people come with theirs, and it just tends to bond together and mesh together, doesn't it? And it's quite a nice, happy feeling that you've reached that point, really.
It's a bit like getting to know each other, but in a sort of different way. Because sometimes the big getting to know bit is the bit that we do in the music.
Yeah.
We discover things about, and you know, as you were saying earlier about the guitar, because you play a bit of guitar, you understand a bit about it, so you feel it easier to find here and there.
Yeah, and it's also, there isn't that, with the music, it's almost a case of starting and people start talking about everything and anything. So it really, to me, it really brings me out of my shell. My confidence has gone up since I first started, and I've noticed that with everybody as well, in their own different way.
Yeah.
Altogether, in a way, I think this is definitely worth doing it, because you're killing your time with it, what you've got to spare maybe. It's inputting, if you know what I mean. It's something we really grab hold of and get involved in, gets us down to the ground with it, gets us going, and it keeps us occupied. Maybe that's what I mentioned about we've got time to kill, so it's worth doing it.
Yeah, thank you. And if you were going to talk to someone who was thinking about coming but was frightened because it was music and they didn't think they could play, or what might you say to them?
I think the joy here is you've got instruments that you don't need any musical knowledge whatsoever, and most people are brought up listening to music, So most people would even find like a basic rhythm, and with even the simplest, you know, the drum, just a gentle beat. With any instrument, you don't need to know chords, this key, that key, whatever. That's why it's so diverse, because you've got so many instruments. You can just come in and try loads of different instruments, which has been really interesting actually.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think everyone on this planet is talented in some way with music. I believe that we've all got some kind of skill.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I think that being musical is one of the very human
part of our life. Yeah, I think we have got everyone's got their own bit inside them which they can do.
Going back to somebody that was just, you know, as you've just said about first time, it's just give it a chance and don't be frightened. You know, because I was a bit wary when I first started. Or how do I get fit in to this bit of music? Or you know, it can get quite difficult to engage. But if you don't worry about, you know, you're learning those first few weeks of it. I learned that even if I started something or tried to mesh it, you know, to join in and I got it wrong, it didn't matter. I'd just hold back a bit and then think of something else in another area of the music that's being played and fit in somewhere else. So, yeah.
So I don't think there is anything, well, there is no such thing as a mistake.
No,
and
no rights and wrongs.
I mean, I think we've all at some point got it hopelessly out of order, or however you want to phrase it, or out of tune even, but yet we still, it doesn't matter if someone sort of goes off on their own thing at all. That's the other.
No, because sometimes then everybody else sort of follows that.
Mm-hmm.
So what you might think, oh, you know, that's a mistake. Perhaps you think, oh, that's a mistake, but then everybody else is sort of listening and thinking, oh, actually, I like that, and then try and join in with that. So that's how the music develops through the group and through each piece.
The chain of support.
Yeah.
So you've been listening to the Swindon Music Therapy Group playing some music together and having a chat about why music therapy is proving to be helpful to them. If you'd like more information about the Music Therapy Group, or if you'd like to be referred into the group, or if you'd like to refer on behalf of someone else, contact SWADS on 01793 695 405 and they'll put you in touch with me and we can arrange to have a conversation. Thank you.
Tune in to the Sound of SWADS Art and Soul Show on the first Tuesday of every month at 9 o'clock.
Rusty Goat's at it again. How did you sleep? She asked, how did I sleep? So here is my reply, too deep. I slept like a sword with two sides, eyes closed but awake inside. Do I get up or lay around in bed? Bread can't be buttered on both sides. Cake can't be had and eaten. Laying here, wishing there was a reset button. Not being able to give a straight answer, a jumble of nonsense in my head. Belly dancing around, washing machine on spin cycle. The setting too hot, socks like finger bobs. White turned grey from a distance, looks okay. Am I on the right track, close to a station? Speaking in tongues, dining with the same nation. Dawning of an age, separation from occasion. Clickety clickety, clack clack. The crockery sits, child ball in hand to smash. Gift or a curse, sow's ear, silk purse. To have and to hold, gates to unfold. Curtains to be drawn back. Book to leave open. Brakes to apply, wheels set in motion. Goat to be homed, romantic that notion. Explanation, desperation. Delusional, hallucination. Steadfast, outlast, full stop.
Check out our website at www.swads.org.uk and drop us a line if you'd like some support or to get involved.
And now, just before our feature about the making of the SWADS Christmas single, We're going to have some poetry from a client of SWADS. This is Paul Rumbold with his poem The Loner, recorded again at the Sound Recovery Studios at SWADS, 1314 Milton Road.
The loner, 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 the loner. It is a faint whisper and a road that goes where I don't know. I am the loner. There is a place of solitude where my heart lives beyond, without fear. I am the loner within, only a heart that beats alone, the butterfly that sweeps in its cocoon and becomes more and more beautiful than all my thoughts and all the dreams I could dream. I am like a hermit. I am the loner within, like a sunrise my mind alone can see. I hope in myself, the loner, that's me.
That was The Loner by Paul Rumbold, recorded here at the Sound Recovery Studio, SWADS. Now, back on the 14th of December 2016, the SWADS team, including volunteers, got together to record their Christmas single, to write and record in one day, in fact, the entire Christmas single. This process was led by Bob Heath from the Soundwell Music Therapy Group and documented by Radio 105.5's very own Ozzy. So here is the piece about the making of the Christmas single at SWADS last December.
Yes, hello and welcome. I am James Osborne, and today we are back inside SWADS, inside the building on Milton Road. I've just stepped in from the cold. I've got myself a cup of tea and I am ready to go. Today I am listening in as a bit of a fly on the wall to the creation of the SWADS Christmas single. They are writing and recording the whole thing in one day, led by the man himself, Bob Heath. And it's all the staff members, all the volunteers coming together to create something completely brand new and exciting. So we're going to jump in a second and do a couple of interviews, and hopefully we're going to be able to hear some of the recording process as well. Right now they're just through in the other room, warming up, harmonising, sounding very, very good indeed. Hopefully we can catch a little bit of that sound later and record it for you. So yeah, right now we're about to step in.
First line, when you're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready.
Right now I'm here with Mike, and he's going to explain the method of writing that they used this morning to create the song.
We used a method which Bob taught us how to use called the acrostic method, which is an ancient method for writing words, whereby...
Sorry, I just thought I'd quote a bit of the song we're doing.
Okay, so let's go
It's
through.
Richie
We're
P and the
live.
place to be.
We're live in the studio here at SWADS. Yeah, so we use the acrostic method, which is an ancient method where you pick a word and you write it down the side of a page. In this case, we use the word person, P-E-R-S-O-N. And as you write it down the side, then you have 90 seconds to write, starting from the word P all the way to the bottom without stopping writing. You just write whatever comes into your head, starting with P, then with E, then with R, then with S, then with O, and then with N. So you get this kind of insight to what's in your brain without thinking about what you're writing, and then use those words to create the song.
So I guess it kind of builds as you go through. And,
yeah. And because there were 8 or 9 of us, we did that, and we ended up with loads of lines, so we could pick from all the different across stitches to come up with a kind of random collection of thoughts that we'd written ourselves but we hadn't written consciously.
So you collected all of the different ideas and thoughts together in a kind of zeitgeist.
All from the word person. We wanted to be person-centred, so we used the word person. So we all did an acrostic around the word person, about 9 of us, and then from those we all picked a word each from, or a line each from everybody's acrostic, and we made the song from that. So everybody got involved.
That's great. What have you learned today so far from the process?
I've learned it's such fun to make music, and it worked out really easy. With the guidance, with Bob's guidance, we've come together with a song in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. I'm really pleased with it.
That's great. Thanks very much, Mike.
So full of life, so full of life, so full of life.
change that to real shine, real shine. Got a soul full of life. I think that's what the song is. Got a soul full of life. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that makes it easier than to.
Okay, we're on. Hi, Julie. What is your role within SWADS?
I'm the director.
That's great. So what have you guys done so far today?
Well, we've written and started to practice performing our new single, our Christmas song.
That's great. And what have you learned from the day so far?
What have we learned? That we can all sing together, which has been a little bit of fun. I didn't think I could sing at all. Some will probably argue I still can't. And it's been a really enjoyable experience, actually, to actually watch something coming together. And it's been really good for the team to actually do something together because we're all so busy. It's nice to actually come together and do something fun, but giving out quite a strong message.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So right now, I'm stood out the back of SWADS again, about to knock on the window and get myself let in, where they are recording the SWADS single. I'm going to check out how they're getting on with that and what their process is, and maybe ask them a few questions about how they found the day's activities.
We all breathe, and when we breathe, yeah, when we breathe, it's so delightful. And when we shine, yeah, we all shine. When we all shine, it's so full of light. I'm created, you're created, we're created. Set your spirit free. You're amazing, so amazing. It's amazing how easy this can be. And we all breathe, yes we do. And when we breathe, yeah, when we breathe, it's so delightful. And when we shine, we all shine. We all shine, it's so full of light. It's so full of light.
So right now I'm here with Jay. Tell me, Jay, what is your role within SWADS?
I'm a volunteer. I help Lucille out in the art department and run around with anybody else needs any help throughout SWADS. Just trying to give a little back to the company, that organisation that helped me out so much.
That's great. What have you guys been doing so far today?
Well, this morning first thing exercise we done was to see if we could all be in time together, which we accomplished. A few breathing and singing exercises and brainstorming to come up with some lyrics.
What's your favourite thing that you've learned so far through the day?
It's got to be probably how different people approach like the same subject, and different people's feelings on just even the same word is unique, and it's quite insightful.
It's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, please introduce yourself and tell us what your role in relation to SWADS is.
Okay. Hi, I'm Steph Collins, and I was a client at SWADS, and now I'm a volunteer here.
That's great. And what have you guys been up to today so far?
So today, we've been making a song. We started this morning about 9:30 from scratch, and now we actually have a song with a couple of choruses, couple of verses, a chorus. We've just recorded it all, and it's fully done.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's the song called?
It's called A Soul Full of Light.
It's great. That's a really cool title. And what have you learned? What's your favourite thing that you've learned and gained from the day so far?
I think it's been a really good team building activity. Get to know some of the staff a bit better, and also a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
I didn't think that we would produce a song in one day, and we have, so
that's great.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much, and I'll let you carry on with the process.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, I'm slightly out of breath because we've just walked all the way up the stairs right to the top of the SWADS building to have a quick word with Bob, who is from Soundwell. Tell us more about Soundwell and your role within Soundwell.
Soundwell is a music therapy charitable trust. I think Soundwell is the only music therapy charity in the country that works pretty well exclusively in community mental health. And we run a series of community music therapy workshops right throughout Wiltshire and Bath, North East Somerset. The group here in Swindon has been running now for, this particular group has been running for, gosh, we're getting close to 9 months, I think. And we meet every week. And people come, improvise. We have a huge range of instruments, all of which are very easy to play, so you don't need to be a musician. You don't need to have any experience. And they're all things that everyone can actually begin to be musical with very quickly. They're all in tune with each other, so no one can play a daft note. And very quickly, we begin to have the experience of expressing ourselves in music with other people and noticing how that feels and how that helps us to communicate a whole range of things about how we're feeling.
So can you tell us more about what you're doing today?
Today, this is SWADS wanting to write their own SWADS song. And we weren't sure if it's going to be a Christmas song or just a song forever. So what we did is we've just had a kind of creative workshop where we just did some singing together, getting used to being together and being musical together, and then exploring some words using a thing called acrostic, where you write poetry but in a very relaxed way. And bit by bit we were able to take all the words that everyone's written and put them together and create a song.
Is all of this part of a project that you're hoping to roll out for others and do again and repeat?
So this is the kind of work I do and I've been doing for a long time now.
Right.
So we use, in music therapy, we use songwriting either with individuals or in groups quite a lot. In fact, I probably use songwriting as much as I use any other kind of musical approach in therapy. It's such a powerful way of keeping people in a creative place, but also finding ways to express ourselves in words as well. So yeah, it's something I do a lot of.
And is there a meditative element to what you do?
There's definitely a very therapeutic element to it. It's also links very closely to things like mindfulness practice. I'm not sure that it's meditative. It can be really exciting, inspiring. I think people experience themselves in new ways. Not many people would call themselves songwriters, and yet at the end of an hour and a half, we've written what everyone seems to be thinking is a really good song that says the kind of things they want to say and says it in an exuberant, powerful way. So I think perhaps meditative, not terribly. Creative, inspiring, therapeutic, I hope, yes, a lot.
That's great. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll let you go and get on now.
Thank you.
That was the process behind the single, and now you can hear the single. This is Soul Full of Light by the SWADS Gang.
your spirit free. You're amazing, so amazing. It's amazing how easy this can be. We all breathe, and when we breathe, yeah, when we breathe, it's so delightful. When we shine, yeah, we all shine. When we shine, a soul full of light, a soul full of light, soul full of light. When you're ready, well, I was stuck, now I'm not stuck. Now I'm safe, I'm reinventing, giving back, something back. I'm giving back, I'm finally accepted. We all breathe, and when we breathe, yeah, when we breathe, it's so delightful. And when we shine, we all shine, we all shine, a soul full of light. When we breathe, yeah, we all breathe, yeah, when we breathe, it's so delightful. When we shine, yeah, we all shine, we all shine, a soul full of light, a soul full of light. When you're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready, shine a soul full of light, 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 a soul full of light.
Okay, that was the SWADS single, Soul Full of Light, made just before Christmas. And now we're going to hear the latest music made by James Osborne called The Shape of Things. Okay, now on the Art and Soul show, Andrew Naylor is going to interview Beth French about the art trip that recently happened for the New View Art Room.
We're talking to Beth, who attends the New View Art Room at SWADS. A couple of weeks ago they went on a trip, and here is what Beth has to say about it. So Beth, where did you go and what did you see?
Hi, we went to the Royal West Academy and the Bristol Museum Art Gallery, which was a field trip that we went on to see the new art that was up. There was a new exhibition, and our art tutor had some artwork up there as well. But then we went off to the other museum. That was just to give us a bit of contrast, a bit more to do.
Brilliant.
And so that's why we went there.
All right, okay. Which was your favourite piece of art?
My favourite piece of art was actually a lino print, and what it was a dog, and it looked like a greyhound to me, because I'm a big fan of greyhounds, and it was backed onto a newspaper. But the really cool thing about it was that it had dog-related words in the newspaper, so like chien for in French for dog, and basically that's what we do with the lino print. Is we do the lino printing up in the New View room.
All right, okay.
And that's where I created. We did a pop-up shop and recently at Halloween, and we all did some lino art, and I did a dory which sold, which was really good.
Brilliant, sounds fabulous. Okay, what else did you see at the museum?
Oh, there was lots of things. There were sculptures. There was all different forms of artwork. Art in like acrylics, art with different materials, different types of sculpture. There was all different mediums that had been used. There was this one dog that was, it looked like it had been cobbled together, but it looked brilliant, and it was looking up at a balloon. There were lots of different types of painting, different types of way that painting is done. Yeah. And the other good thing was we got to do a bit of sketching of them as well, the pictures.
Okay. What was best about the trip, and all in all?
What was best about it? Getting that inspiration from people who are actually, showing their artwork to take back into the art room that we might be able to recreate ourselves or take a different slant on it. Just something fresh and new to bring into the room. A trip out of Swindon. It was really good to all get together as a big group, and it was a really good day, and it was a really good session. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and also, where would you like to go on the next art trip?
Well, we're hoping to go to the Pitt Rivers Museum in Oxford. I've heard that there's got some really interesting things. Lucille, our tutor, was talking about them, little voodoo doll heads in drawers and all sorts of stuff. Real quirky, but it sounds like really fantastic.
Thank you, Beth. That's me for today. I'm done and over with. Thank you. Bye-bye.
But Alberta, where you been so long? Alberta, Alberta, where you been so long? Ain't had no loving since you've been gone. Alberta, Alberta, where you stay last night? Alberta, Alberta, where you stay last night? Come home this morning, clothes don't fit you right. Alberta, Alberta, girl, you're on my mind. Alberta, Alberta, girl, you're on my mind. Ain't had no loving such a long, long time. Alberta, Alberta, where you been so long? Alberta, Alberta, where you been so long? ain't had no luck.